If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Sia, and welcome to the GNAW On This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of GNAW On This Business Bites. I'm Ben. This is Sia. And this week, we're going to talk about vanity metrics versus real clients. Now, here's my take on things. Everybody and their mother, sorry, Mom, getting into the conversation, talks about the number of followers that they have, the number of likes that they have, the number of people viewing their posts that they have. None of this really matters. The question is, who's doing business with you? Who's commenting on your posts? Who's actually picking up a phone? Who's going to your website? Who's sitting there going, you know what? Can we have a chat offline? These are the things that really matter. And we need to sit there and go, is it a vanity metric? Is it something that, really doesn't matter in the end and it's just there for our ego? Or are we doing the hard work on social media to actually get the right people to look at us, comment on things, engage with us, get interested enough with us that they actually know, like, and trust us and want to be clients? So, Sia, over to you.
Oh, my goodness. So part of me wants to be the contrary opinion just for the sake of argument.
Go for it.
Full disclosure, I really could give two rats, what, about followers and likes and dislikes and all that stuff, because the bottom line is who's going to pick up the phone and give you that paycheck, right? Who's going to cut you that PO? But I'm going to counter this. I get it. You want to get people that are going to be part of your community, because if you build a solid community, they will follow you. And it could be a community of 100 people, but if they're spending thousands of dollars with you, I'm all for that. I'm cool with that, right? It's a quote that Ira Glass had posted once saying, look, I would rather have 1,000 followers in this room than 1 million Twitter followers, because the Twitter people are just going to be like reading it and move on in life, right? No impact. So, but that being said, is this, because he has 1 million Twitter followers, people start paying attention. So it's almost like, I would argue that I get it. If you're niched, it makes sense. But sometimes if you're not niched, if you maybe have a broader audience focus, sometimes those followers do help you get in front of more people if you're trying to grow credibility, brand awareness, or build a community. So yes, I say metrics are vanity. Most of the time it's BS, but sometimes it matters.
Well, it's looking at it, is it a shotgun approach or are we sniper rifling? The question is, are you a 50, 100 million, quarter billion, unicorn-sized business that's a SaaS type business with a cheap product online that you want people to click a button on? Do you want people to sit there and for $9.99 or $19.99 or $29.99, click a button, boom, and buy? If that's the case, the more eyeballs that you can put on your website and your material and your content that are going to drive people from social media to your website where they actually buy, the better it is. I get that for retail. When you're dealing with a retail buyer, that it's a low cost, low impact, single time buy for most people, having more eyeballs counts. Yes, it does. But for B2B type businesses, it's a completely different story. If you're looking for relationships, if you're looking for long-term business clients, if you're looking for people who are going to turn around and actually recommend you to others, and you're looking to make $25,000, $250,000, $2.5 million off a single client, whether you have 100 of the right people that look at your content and comment on them, or 100,000 that ignore you, which one would you prefer?
You nailed it, Ben. If you said it, and you're right. We have to shape it. Are you B2B or are you B2C?
Or direct to consumer?
Yep. If you're B2C, maybe those vanity metrics matter because that means you're wanting to become more of an influencer in the social media platform, context, right? But I think for us, we're talking about LinkedIn, we're talking about business concepts. We are pretty much 90% B2B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I can't tell you how many times I don't have the biggest following. My YouTube channel is pathetic, but you know what? Oh yeah, it's pathetic. It's
You know what? We'll work on the pathetic part. We can always make it better.
We can always make it better. But here's the thing. There's that saying, chefs don't eat their own food, right? It's the same thing is, if you're producing for other people, oftentimes you're not doing it for yourself, right? They say people who are organizers probably have like really disorganized homes because they're busy organizing everybody else. That is the same thing about social media. If your client is a B2C person, then of course you're going to want to help them look at those vanity metrics in a way that is going to make sense, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's B2B, maybe that their KPIs aren't about how many downloads and views. It's going to be how many meetings were set up as a result of this campaign, et cetera, right? There's how many people downloaded white papers because that was a call to action from that particular posting, et cetera. So there's definitely ways where I think it matters and some other ways where I'm like, guys, I know a lot of people who are stalkers, lurkers. They're just scrolling, looking at it, but they remember it, right? Are they diminished value?
And that's brand awareness.
Bingo.
So the trick is to understand who's your audience. What do you want from them? Why do you want them there? What do you want them to do? What do you want them to think? And what do you want them to engage with? And how you create your content and what platforms you are on. And, the content that you put up should reflect what your objectives are and what you're trying to achieve. So let's gnaw on this. These are business bites. Sia, I give you the last word.
You know what? I could gnaw on this all day long, but I think that was a really great intro chat, if you will, because I know we're going to talk more about this. Vanity metrics, if it works for you, that's great. But I'm going to keep chewing on this one because I see both sides. But again, I love that B2C, B2B. I think that's where you really gnaw on this for whether that metric is of value to you or not. So thanks.
Exactly. So I'm Ben.
I'm Sia.
Let's gnaw on this.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of GNAW On This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me, Sia, at innovationmediaenterprises.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of GNAW On This, Business Bites.